What's up, people? Welcome back to Night Souls 2. I'm Old Spy, and we are continuing on with our Dark Souls Remastered walkthrough. And today we are going to be doing a little bit of backtracking. So, most of this is going to be familiar territory. We're doing a little bit of quality of life pieces. Try to get some stuff, a couple extra items. We're going to pick up a ring. And I'm not quite sure, honestly, heading into this where we're going to end up. I know where we're going afterwards, but it's just time-wise what I can get done here. There won't be any bosses fought today, but should be pretty informational here as we fight these guys. Excuse me. Alright, so we're going to head up this way. And we're actually, our first stop is we're heading towards the, well, we're heading to the Undead Burg. Oof. Also, it is worth pointing out that those guys, this particular variant of the Balder Knight, drop a really good sword. So maybe we'll try to see if we can get lucky here. Come on, dude. There we go. Coming all the way over here. Ooh. So if you want to get enemies to drop items, first thing you want to do is get our humanity number, our counter in the top left corner. We want to get that up to 10. That gives us our best chance at item find. See, these guys do drop their armor, but their sword is definitely the key piece of their equipment. Also, they drop, as I mentioned before, Titanite shards, which can be useful. But anyways, the first thing you want to do if you want to farm for items is get your humanity counter up to 10. I believe that's the max on boosting your item find. And then once you do that, there's various items that we've not yet encountered that you can get to also assist you in getting more items. But either way, we're going to continue on. We're going to run past these guys because now, as we come out on the bridge, where are you? There he is. Maybe not. There he is. See, our old friend comes back. So you want to make sure you get off the bridge pretty quick. Don't linger about. Alright, we'll take a seat here. And there's a couple items we're going to buy, so we do want to kill these guys. They should give us enough souls to purchase what we need. So after the undead perish, after you beat the bell gargoyles, I call this little part here is like my little quality of life run. But it's also going to take us into the next area as well. So it is, I mean, we're back where we need to be either way.
Ow. there, still keeping your marble. Think I've never had.
Alright, we're going to talk to this guy, and we want to buy the repair box, first of all. And that looks like it's going to be about it.
Thank you kindly.
So we're going to stop back by with this guy in just a minute. We're not quite done with him. Alright, head back through. So this is all the stuff that we did on the second episode. We will end up unlocking that door right there in front of us. And I'm fighting these guys just, like I said, we do need to buy those items that the merchant has, so try to get as many souls as we can while we're running through here. So we can see that our damage has improved quite a bit. So we're looking really good there, especially for these weaker enemies. Alright, first stop. So we unlocked this door earlier, and I said we'll get back to it. Well, here we go. And there's a very specific reason why we didn't come here earlier and why we are coming here now. We're going to shed. Let me see here. Might be able to keep our gloves on. Nope. So I want to move as fast as possible, and you'll see why here in just a second. All the way down. And we got this guy. Good place to fight him is here on one of the platforms up top. And what you want to do is just circle around him. See, with our shield, we've got enough stamina, we can block. We're going to wait for him to attack. And we're going to get a backstab. And you can see this is going to take a little while because he's rocking some beefy armor. One of the things when you're fighting this guy is you want to make sure as you're going around you don't spin around too much, because he will do that move, especially when he's two-handing, where he kind of twists his body, and if you're going around too fast, you'll walk right back into his swing. But just kind of circle towards his shield hand. He's slow to recover. You do have some time. As long as you manage your stamina, he's not going to break your guard and kill you with one hit, which he can if you're not blocking. So keep your shield up, circle around. You can drop it. I don't know if that makes him swing. Once you get a backstab, kind of bring him back towards the middle. See, that's the one where he kind of switches it up. That one right there. I think you can parry him. I'm not going to attempt it, but I think it is possible. So it's not the most exciting fight here, but the payoff is well worth it, especially for us, as you'll see. Come on. You do have to be careful not to get greedy. And down he goes. So our reward is Havel's Ring, which boosts maximum equipment burden. So you can see our equip load is at 12.4 and maximum is at 90. When we take it off, it drops 30 units, so it's very useful. Not quite sure what it's going to do for us because this game, I think it's 25 and then 50 for your levels. 25 you're rolling light, so we should be in a mid-roll. Yeah, we're in a mid-roll right now. We're moving a little bit faster, so that's going to help us out. Alright, so that's our second item. Now we have enough to backtrack real quick and visit the Undead Merchant again. Alright.
Oh, I hope you.
Make sure we don't really need those. We will go ahead and grab the residence key and the bottomless box. And it looks good. Wait, did we buy a... Go ahead and grab the short bow. We'll grab some arrows. Good. All right.
Oh, thank you very much. Come
So,
back soon.
in this playthrough, we're done with this guy. And we're going to do this.
Gone mad, have you? I know. Little Julia.
So we get the orange soapstone and the dry finger anyways if you kill him, a humanity, and the Uchigatana, which is actually the weapon I used for my Demon Souls playthrough. Whoops, we don't have the stats to use it. Requires 1414. It is a dex weapon. It's got B scaling with dex, and it applies bleed. We're probably not going to mess with that this playthrough, but I just wanted to show you that you can acquire it right there, and it is a really good weapon. Alright, carrying on. A little bit more backtracking here. I realize it's probably not the most exciting episode, but we are getting some useful stuff. All right, 1 second. All right. Now we're back out here. This is where we fought the Taurus demon. Yeah, we're moving a little better. It's not completely ideal, but so here's the bridge. And now we got that basement key that we picked up. And now we're gonna head to lower Undead Burg. Don't forget to do the ladder slide. You just hold circle, no directions. You don't have to press down. And before we head there, we're gonna go ahead and crack this open just in case something happens. We've got a quick entry back into the lower Burg. Alright, so when you come down here, keep your shield up because you got these dogs and they can be a pain in the butt. They like to jump in the fire and kill themselves. Right. So once they're out of the way, it's pretty much quiet for a second. Come back here.
Somebody.
And we just bought the residence key.
Somebody, help me. Damn, I'm finished.
So we can open this up. And if you're a sorcerer,
Thanks to you.
this guy is your ticket here. He's gonna, once we let him out, he's gonna head back to Firelink. You can buy all sorts of useful spells and items from him. Pick up the sorcerer's gear too. So once we let him out, he's gonna relocate. We're gonna head this way real quick. Now, be very careful right here, because these guys can delete you very quickly. Keep your shield up, go slow. Especially around this corner, these three like to charge at the same time, and they will kill you. They do that. When all three of them do that, and if they hit you, bad news. Alright, so we got twin humanities. So it is useful to go back there. I mean, if you deem twin humanities not very important, then I would just skip it, but... Okay. So when you come in here, it looks like there's nobody here, but there's actually an ambush. These doors are going to pop open, all three of them. That one there, this one, and this one. One of the things you can do is try to hit them through the doors. There's one hit, which is typically good enough, because then once they pop out, as long as you hit them one time, it should kill them. We're going to take this guy out first, or we're going to hit the door and not do a thing. So, obviously, these guys heal, as you just saw. And they also have a parry move. You'll see they go into a parry stance, much like the Boulder Knights. And you don't want to swing at them because they will get you in a grab move, which tears off quite a bit of health. Backstabs work well. And those guys do inflict bleeds, so be careful of that. Mail breaker. Pretty much a worthless weapon. Alright, coming down here, take it nice and slow. You've got a bunch of dogs up ahead. And you're going to have more hollow thieves come out. I'm using R1, R2 on these guys. Pretty effective. They also do drop their set, which is one of the coolest sets in the game, especially the headpiece. Sort of puts a shadow around your face. So you can farm them here if you want to. The black leather with the thief mask, which is also one of the cooler headpieces in the game. Goes with a lot of armor sets. Alright, so right here is the boss, and we're not going to fight him just yet. We're going to come back to that. Watch out for this ambush. I'm having no luck on these drops, man. So to get through here, we have to defeat the boss first. But instead, we're going to come up this way. Come through here, and we've got another merchant. Now, this merchant right here is very useful, as you'll see. First off, she sells all the different variants of moss for bleed, poison, and toxic, which is very useful. Probably the most useful one, because toxic is very deadly. Poison throwing knives. And then she also sells charcoal pine resin, which we're going to take full advantage of. We're going to buy a couple of them. We'll come back actually too and buy as many as we can, because that will help out with a lot of different enemies and some bosses too along the way. She also sells fire and poison arrows. Both of those are very useful, and we'll probably be picking up some of each a little bit later. But for right now,
Come again if you please.
we're gonna head down here. Pop this open. And you can see we are back at Firelink Shrine. So we've kind of officially made a complete loop. We now have quick access to Lower Undead Burg as well as the parish. So we've got access to quite a bit of territory here. So we don't need to go that way. Alright, so actually what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick detour. Just going to run past these guys. As you can see, there's our sorcerer. Follow us in here. Oh my goodness, come on. All right, there we go. So I mentioned we're going to take a quick detour. We're going to go and knock out a couple of things at the Undead Asylum, which is where we started the entire game at. To get there, you activate the elevator, and as we go up just a little bit, we're going to roll off right there. And then right here, line it up. I like to line up my top of my head with that buttress, and then just walk forward, do a roll at the end. You don't have to run and jump, just roll right off. And now before you go any further, you gotta see this item and you need to pick that item up, because that's going to give us access to parts of the Undead Asylum that we could not go to. Oh no. Alright, That was not supposed to happen like that. All over the place, and I'm rushing because I want to get through this little part here. I want to get through this little part before this episode goes too long. Alright, so I'm going to slow it down here. Curl up in the nest, and then you just wait a bit. Wait a bit longer. And here we go. Alright, so here we are, Northern Undead Asylum, and as you can see right away, we got to approach with some caution. You can see these guys might be the most vicious enemy in the whole game. Alright, so as we come in here, be very careful. Do not run out into the middle, because that's gonna, the floor is gonna fall through. It's gonna trigger a boss fight that we are definitely not really ready for. So we're gonna head this way, and we're gonna fight some more of the Black Knights. Same rules apply. We're gonna sit here. We're gonna parry them. If you're not comfortable with this method, you definitely don't want to fight him here. But it is pretty easy. Again, watch for the arm to go up. Hit L2. Get the parry. Goes up. Once it starts coming down, you got a pretty big window on these guys. Hoping for that, for their sword. Would really love to have that sword. Alright, so we see our old buddy in there, and he's moving around. And he's hostile. So, make sure you're ready for a fight. Easily parried. Can also circle around and get some easy backstabs. The good news is he gave us his Estus flask, so he won't be healing. But he will be dying. Got shield, very good shield. In fact, depending on the weight, we might switch. Yeah, if it's the same, we're gonna switch. Because it has 80 magic damage, same thing. Maybe not. Maybe we'll keep this shield for right now. Yeah, we'll remain as is. But that is a really good shield because it will help you out in areas with lots of magic. Ball traps reset, so just keep that in your head. And we're going to come this way because there's an item that we can get that we could not get before. And it's an item that's going to be very useful for a upcoming kind of mini boss fight, and then also for a particular area. Yep, so there's the key we picked up. We can now open that gate. And the rusted iron ring. Which is very situational, but it helps you run through swampy areas and water. Which is very nice. Alright, we got one more thing we're going to grab before we get out of here. Heading all the way back to the original starting point here. You can see we got one more Black Knight. Ooh. Oh no. Oh. Well, there it was. First death of the playthrough. We're at 33. I should be able to make that run back real quick. I should have rested at the fire. No big deal. Deaths are gonna happen. That's why it is a Souls game after all. What I was trying to do was defeat that guy, grab that item that's behind him, and then homeward bone back to here, which is the reason why I didn't rest. But obviously that blew up in my face because I got killed. We're gonna try it again because getting up there on time, and this is right at the very end of the episode. Luckily, once you've done it the first time, it's much faster to get back. You don't have to wait all that time. So we're going to go through, but I don't want to rush, because that's when you end up getting killed. Remember to stay out of the middle of that floor. try to get our souls here. Alright. Alright, all is well. If we can get past this guy, we should be able to. They tried it again with the slow swing. Not going to work this time. Come on, give me that sword for all your trouble. Ah. Okay. Peculiar dial, which is actually a key to a hidden area that we're going to access later on. And I do, for whatever reason, I like to come back here more than once. Maybe it's inefficient, but oh well, it's just kind of how I do stuff. Didn't really need to climb out there, but yeah. So we are actually going to come back a little bit later and fight that boss that's in this next room. We're not going to do it right now. I could probably try. I just don't know how much, if we're going to do good enough damage at this point. And I don't feel like grinding away down there in a long drawn out boss fight that doesn't really need to be. We'll just come back later when it's actually useful. Whew. Okay, so that's going to wrap it up for this episode. And because of the death and because it was kind of a long, sort of drawn out episode, I will make it up to you guys by doing a double boss fight in the next episode. So coming up, we'll have 2 boss fights, and we're going to move into Lower Undead Burg and the depths. So I will see you then, and thanks again for stopping by.